You may have seen that just yesterday, a very senior Taliban official went on television and radio across the country and repeatedly assured people in Afghanistan that they would have the freedom to travel after August 31st. He even specifically said those who worked for the Americans and those who want to leave for whatever reason will have that freedom. Now, of course, we don't take the Taliban at their word. We take them by their deed, and that's what we're going to be looking to.
I mean, after we, the United States, gave them a list of who our people are, who our translators are that were on the list to go, you think they're going to let them leave Afghanistan? Does anybody think for a moment that what's not going to happen on Wednesday is going to be an unbelievable, brutal, terroristic takeover of that country?
As Mike Pompeo pointed out in an article on our website, they've already begun the door-to-door seeking out people who cooperated with the U.S. government and summarily executing them. They're targeting Christians especially. Right now, that's going on. Why would Secretary Blinken think that somehow magically after midnight tomorrow, that's all going to change?
The reason why it appeared that Kabul fell so quickly to the Taliban was not really because of the Taliban threat, so much as the U.S. and the Taliban agreed they were going to fight.
There was a hastily arranged meeting in person. This is what they put in the Washington Post. Senior U.S. military leaders in Doha, including General McKenzie, the commander of U.S. Central Command, spoke with the head of the Taliban's political wing, Baradar. We have a problem, Baradar said, according to the U.S. official. We have two options to deal with it. You, the United States military, take responsibility for securing Kabul, or you allow us to do it.
This is after 34 provincial capitals had fallen to the Taliban across the country. By the way, in the agreement we had with the Taliban that started with the Trump administration, it said specifically, you cannot take provincial capitals. If you do, there will be military repercussions.
You would know from history they've never been able to do this. They are factioned off. The command and control structure. Has anyone from the U.S. State Department been able to give us a clear command and control structure there? No, it's like throw on a gun, put the white flag up in the air with the Arabic writing, and suddenly you are now in control of your area until someone else tells you you're not.
There had to be enormous political pressure coming from the most senior elements of the White House directing the military to stand back. And I don't know this. My guess, if the reporting's true, the White House had clearly made the message known to the military leaders. Shrink as fast as you can. Get a tiny footprint. August 31st is a real hard stop no matter what these guys do. Even if we have Americans left behind, we're going to leave on the 31st. And the military leadership was trying to make decisions inside of that massively politically constrained environment.
So the latest development is the rocket attack. So you've had 5 rockets that were fired at the airport. Only one landed within inside the airport. No one was injured there or no one was killed there. And it didn't stop the operations from continuing that are still going on, which is at more seems like a limited pace. So now we're in this period where, it's around 3 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time where we're supposed to be out 100%. These terrorists know that. So whatever they've got, I would assume they're going to be utilizing in the next 24 hours to try and injure and kill as many Americans as they can.
It is a war zone. They've been killing Americans, the Taliban has, for 20 years. That really, if you look at the people they're killing now, are allies who are in Kabul itself. They have not stopped that behavior, and it will only get more so after midnight tomorrow.
These kinds of transitions, even perfectly executed, are always difficult to manage. I pray that our military has been provided the resources they need to execute this in a way that reduces risk. There's no doubt as you're trying to get that last piece of equipment, those last people that you have decided are going to be on the inside out. It is a very difficult problem set. And contrary to what we've heard some of this administration senior leaders say, these folks don't have an incentive to make this easy. In fact, they have an incentive to make us pay a price as we're exiting so that we'll never consider returning again.
There's no indication that this is going to go an extra minute.
No,
tomorrow.
I think I think Joe Biden's, although there have been protests to the contrary from governments as well as inside the White House, I think it's a fait accompli. He's leaving. He's leaving as scheduled.
The next really 24 hours, what the world is going to be looking to is not so much the U.S. doing this or not, but of course those final images, knowing that you've got a hostile, not just an enemy force ready to take the city, but what's an enemy force that is firing at you? That is unfortunately why there will be so much attention in the next 24 hours. Yeah. Is that we know this is almost like a war zone.